star, peace, and love. As I always tell you, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. So you're not human, really. You're a spirit having a human experience in this body. What does that mean? That means that you are living out the human experience. And I fully believe that the intention is for all of us to learn, to grow, and to be better versions of ourselves and be better versions to one another. And you know that my major topic subject, even though I love paranormal things and I'm a big Bigfoot researcher, but what I believe I'm here to do is to protect children from being sexually abused by adults. And that means the current children now in the world and the adults who were once children and abused, and how it's affected them now as adults. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. It'll hit the news if it's sensational. You know, you might hear a story of somebody downloading child porn, and it'll be on for a little bit, and then it's not talked about. And that's why it exists. Because the only way something that hideous is able to survive is by keeping it secret and not talking about it. And it's the sickest thing that exists, I think, in a human being is when you set out to hurt a child to satisfy yourself. And as I have said before, that we're all energy beings. Okay, what does that mean? That means we all pulsate. We're energy. Everything's energy. Everything. Okay, so what does that mean? That means you give off vibrations because you're energy. So if you tend to be a very upbeat, happy person, you're high vibrating. When you're high vibrating, you're going to draw to you other things that are high vibration, like happiness, healthiness, peace, joy. You're going to draw that to you through people, through TV, through animals, through places you go. You're going to get all that good stuff flowing to you. At the same token, if you're a low vibrating being, sad, depressed, and it doesn't make you bad. I'm just explaining to you what it means. If you're low vibrating because you're sad, you're unhappy, or you're mean, you're nasty, you're cruel, you're going to draw to you like things. So if you're always sad, you're going to draw things to make you more sad. If you're a cruel person, you're going to draw things to you that make you act cruel toward it or something cruel toward you. That's just the way it works. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, how about what comes around goes around? How about karma? That's what that all is, okay? And people who sexually abuse children, who set out to manipulate a child and tell them they're going to make them feel good, it's not about the child to them. It's about what is satisfying to them. The power, the control, the sexual release. That's what that's all about. They don't care about the child. Because if they did, they would know that that child is not ready for that. They weren't born to be your sexual slave. Understand? And nothing pisses me off more than anybody that sets out to abuse a child in that way. Physical abuse is a terrible thing. Sexual abuse, to me, is disgusting and the worst thing you can think of. Why are you sexually abusing a child? Because you are a low vibrating being that is so into your own body. All you care about is seeking out an avenue to release that sexual energy with another being, somebody that's easy to do it with. Very easy to do it with a child, isn't it? Because you can manipulate them. You're never going to tell me in any way, shape, or form that it's right. I don't care what you say. It's not right. And we need to talk about it. We need to get loud about it. And luckily, there are other people doing so. Not as many as there could be. But if you go on YouTube at all, look up people who actually set out to find predators. Now, we all know Chris Hansen, right? When he did the To Catch a Predator series. He now does a similar series here on YouTube as well. If you put his name in the search engine of YouTube, Chris Hansen, you'll find he's doing the same thing. It's just not called To Catch a Predator anymore. And they set up with local sheriff's communities, people who believe they're talking to a child online. And it still blows my mind that they catch people in their trap left and right. And I know people say, oh, well, you set me up. Yeah, you can't, they can't set you up. You set yourself up. You thought you were talking to a child, and you set out to have sex with a child. A lot of these mostly are men of different races, of course. I'm assuming there's got to be women at some point in time in there that do the same thing, but for whatever reason, it's more prevalent with men. I've noticed that in watching some of these, that a lot of these men will blame a porn addiction on why they do this. Now, porn does not equal molesting a child. I'm not really quite sure how that fits in, but maybe for some of them, whatever they're viewing. A lot of them have a fetish or a fixation on very young girls, 15, 16. And that's because some of these pornography movies show what looks like a young girl being gang raped or whatever, so on and so forth. And I mean, listen, honestly, probably these are women who are in their 20s that are playing the role of somebody young, but the person watching that is taking in the information as if that is somebody 15 years old. They don't understand that it's a role play. Or in some cases, there probably are young girls who might be forced into something. But I can guarantee you, having been a young girl at 15 and been around young girls when I was 15 and understanding young women, they don't want to sleep with you. They don't want to have sex with you. They're not thinking about it 24/7 like you are. So whatever you're watching, you're allowing it to manipulate your mind, your body, and your soul. You need to do something about that. Because I'm telling you right now, that young lady doesn't want to have sex with you. Just because she's in a movie that she's getting paid to do, or maybe being forced to do, which is very sad, and I'm sure that does happen, doesn't mean she wants you to come to her house. So you have a sickness that you need to address. And people are going to be talking about more and more. It's not going to be as easy now to get away with it because there's more things happening, like Chris Hansen, like YouTubers who catch people online talking to who they think are kids and then setting up a sexual meeting. But it's so prevalent. There's so many men who want to partake in this. And I'm like, man, can you show us some of the men that don't want to partake in this? Because this is overwhelming. It really just angers me to the point of what in the frig is wrong with these guys? They don't understand what a normal, healthy sexual relationship is. Because if they did, they wouldn't be reaching out to children to have sex with. And I know some folks will say, well, it's a little bit different when it's a 16-year-old girl they're talking to or if it's a 6-year-old kid. Not really. They're both still kids, okay? When I was 16, I was still a kid. I wasn't mentally, emotionally mature enough to have a relationship with an adult. I may have, talked smack like I could, but I couldn't. So don't fool yourself into thinking because somebody's that age that, they know what they're doing necessarily, okay? Stop telling yourself the bullshit stories. The bottom line is, this is one sickness that goes back thousands of years, and it's one of those sicknesses that really hasn't been addressed, and it's really gotten worse. And now we have AI coming into the picture, and I don't even want to think about what's going to happen with AI and the pictures and the films that are going to be out there that people are going to think is real because they don't do the research. If it's put in front of them, like, oh, okay, that's real. Oh, the person said it's real, so it's real. Do the friggin' research. Not everything you see in front of your face is real. Check into it before you believe what you're seeing, okay? Research isn't going to kill you. It's going to educate you. So, anyways, I just wanted to touch on that. If anybody has a story they want to share, I think I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to be talking with other people about this because I just want it to be something that's talked about so often that people aren't embarrassed anymore, or they don't feel gross sharing their story, or they feel guilty because they think that they did something wrong as a kid. It can't be that way anymore, guys. We got to protect our kids and the adults who were kids that didn't get protected by the adults at the time. They deserve a chance to tell their story and explain what that does to a kid mentally and emotionally and physically. If you're a child molester, get yourself some fucking help. Kids were not put on this earth for your pleasure. No. I love you guys. Peace and love.